Namaste students, welcome to the social science class, our Karnataka. In the last class, you had studied about the Belagavi district, the Kalaburgi district and Bengaluru district. In today's class, we will study about the Mysuru district. Mysuru is another administrative division of our state children. Mysuru was the capital of the Vadiyar kings. There are 8 districts: Mysore, Chamarajnagara, Mandya, Hassan, Chikkamangaluru, Udupi, Dakshina Kannada and Kodagu. The administrative center is Mysuru. Many of the rich districts of Karnataka are in this division, children. This division is famous for rivers, mountain ranges, forest, wild animals, coffee, plantation, coast and ports. Now let us move on to the history of Mysuru. The history of Mysuru begins with the Ganga rule. Talakadu was the capital of the Gangas. Later, it was ruled by the Cholas, Hoysalas, and the Vijayanagar kings. Mysuru was under the rule of the Vadiyars for many centuries. It was also under the rule of Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. Mysuru is called as a Mahishanandu historically as well as mythologically. According to the mythological stories, the goddesses Parvati, you can see in this picture, killed Mahishasura in the form of Chamundeshwari. The place where Mahisha was killed became Mysuru. Yeduraya was the first ruler of Vadiyar dynasty, and Chikkadevaraja Vadiyar is the most famous king. The king who succeeded him were weak. Hyder Ali, who was in the military general, then took over the administration, and his son Tipu Sultan ruled Mysore from 1761 to 1799 CE. The Britishers took over the administration of Mysuru again in 1831 because of the weak administration. In 1881, the administration was given back to Vadiyars, where Krishnaraja Vadiyar IV undertook many people-friendly development measures in the beginning of the 20th century. He gave more importance to education, culture and irrigation. Mysuru witnessed the marvelous development under the administration of Diwans of Sir M. Vishveshwaraya and Sir Mirza Ismail. The Mysuru kingdom got integrated into the Republic of India after the independence. When we see to the districts, children, we saw about the districts. Each district has its own history. It was ruled by many dynasties. The Haleri dynasty ruled over the Kodagu from 17th century. Bidnur was their capital, and Dodda Veerappa is the most famous king of this dynasty. Keladi is also one more dynasty. The coastal area of Karnataka, this one, we call it as the Tulu Nadu. And Tulu Nadu was ruled by the Alupa dynasty that includes the present Udupi also. The coastal area was called as the Canara by the British. They took over this area in 1801 and they divided the coastal area into the Uttara Kannada and Dakshina Kannada districts. As we all know that Mysuru was the capital city during the rule of the Mysuru kings. Now it is not. Now Bengaluru is the capital, though Mysuru is not the capital now, but it is the. But it still remains as the cultural capital of our state. The University of Mysuru. This is the University of Mysuru is the oldest university of our state. The annual Dasara celebrated here is known as internationally. We are having many monuments, places, palaces, churches, temples that represent the heritage of this place. We are having the Jagan Mohana Palace, Saint Philomena Church, Chamundi Hills, Nandi Idol on the hill. These are the major attraction of the city. Apart from that, we are having the Somnathpura, Nanjangud, and also we are having the Sri Kanteshwara temple, which is one of the most ancient temple where we are having Sri Kanteshwara here. Apart from this, we are also having the zoo and also a railway museum and a folklore museum, which is one of the biggest museum in Asia, which is in Mysuru. We are having Brindavan garden is there, as apart from that we are having the Talkadu also children, and we are having the Gomatagiri of Bettaduru along with the Khadi production, which is done here, and it has been attracted many tourists throughout India and also the international tourist. We are having the Brindavan garden is there as a part of the KRS dam. Apart from that, we are having the Buddha Vihara, which is at the Bailakuppe of Pirayapatna Taluk, where a place was given for the Tibetan refugee when we got the independence in 1947. The Buddha Vihara of Bailkoppe is world famous, and our state was called as a Mysuru state till 1973. Now we will move on to the Chamarajnagara district. The Chamarajnagara district, it consists of Gundalpet, Elanduru and Kollegal and Chamarajnagara. Chamarajnagara was also known as Arikutara. It was named Chamarajnagar by Krishnadevara Vadiyar III in the memory of his father, Chamarajendra Vadiyar, who was born here. And we are also having a temple which is known as the Chamarajeshwara temple, which was built in the memory of Chamaraja Vadiyar. This district, Chamarajnagara district, is very famous for the Malabari cultivation and the production of the silkworm cocoons. We are also having the Bandipur National Park, which is a part of the India's largest biosphere reserves, and also it is known as the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserves. This was once the Mysore Maharaja's private hunting ground. It was brought under the project of Tiger in 1973. We are also having the Himwat Gopal Swami Hills, which is the highest peak in the Bandipur range. And apart from that, we are also having the Biligiri Rangana Betta, where we are having the Biligiri Rangana temple. And also we are having the Mahadeshwara Betta, and also we are having Himavada Gopal Swami temple, where you can see that elephant comes here and prays to the Gopala Swami every day. And also these are the well known temples in this area. Many religious centers also are there in these places, where we can see. We are also having the sacred graves of Veerashaiva spiritual leaders in Haradnahalli. And Kollegal is also one of the important place of this district, which is very famous for the silk weaving. And we are having the Chikkakalluru of Kollegal Taluk, which is the sacred grave of Siddhapaji is there. And we are also having the Bannadahalli Darga in the Satyagal, and the famous Hogenakal waterfalls is also here. The sacred grave of the most important Kannada poet Sharakshara Deva is in Elanduru, the taluk of this district. Children, now we will move on to the next district, that is the Hassan district. Hassan district contains the cities of Hassan, Arsikere, Belur, Sakaleshpura, Alur, Arkalogud, Holenarsipura and Chandrai Patna. These are all the places of Hassan district. When we move on to the history of the Hassan district was the seat of the Hoysala Empire, which at its peak ruled the large part of South India from Beluru as its early capital and Halebeedu as its later capital during the period of 1000 to 1334 CE. The district is named after the goddesses Hassanamba. You can see here the goddesses and the presiding deity of the town. The history of Hassan district is essentially the history of two well-known dynasties that have ruled Karnataka. The Western Ganga dynasty of Talkad and the Hoysala Empire. During the 15th and 16th century, the Vijayanagar kings patronized the Chennakeshava temple of Beluru as their family deity. And it was also ruled by Adil Shahs of Bijapur and Mughal Empire after the decline of the Vijayanagar Empire. And the temples of this district are famous for Hoysala architecture. Villages like Gururu and Musle are famous. The Chennakeshwappa temple is on the banks of the river Yagachi in Belur is known for its beautiful carving. Okay. And apart from that, Beluru is also known as Velapuri children. And we are also having the Kedareshwara and the Hoileshwara temples which are at Halebeedu. These temples have a history of more than 1000 years and this place is also known as the Dwara Samudra. And another achievement of this district is, what is this? Yeah, this is the monolithic statue of Bahubali. Where it is? Shravana Bedavala. So what is the height? Can you tell me, children? Yeah, it is 58 feet in height. And once in 12 years, the Maha Mastaka Abhisheka takes place. This attracts many people from India and also from outside the India. And there is also a railway track between Hassan and Mangaluru where we had to cross under 58 tunnels. And our first Prime Minister from Karnataka, H.D. Deve Gowda, also belongs to this group. So in the next class, I will stop here, children. In the next class, we will study about the Chikkamangaluru, Mandya, Kodagu and Dakshina Kannada districts. Thank you, children.